All right, I think we should be good. Hold on, let me just make sure. Do we have signal? Do we have connection? Give me a second just to make sure. All right, how y'all doing, everybody? This is Ray of Rebel Ears. Just want to say thank you. Check, check, check. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Hold on, hold on. Okay, we got good signal. So just letting you know, this is the brief rundown. We do this. The email comes out every Monday, but right now this is the first live stream of March. So for everybody who don't know yet, my name is Ray of Rebel Ears, and this is the YouTube channel where we engage with producers, artists, engineers, content creators, and we involve, well, not involve, but we show people, we have a few clients that show them how to have a automation system when it comes to automating their IG stories, their DMs, their posts, their engagement. There's so many ways. But today's episode, because I know we're 2 minutes late, but I do want to start off and say thank you for everybody who's starting off watching the live stream. I'm sorry. It was a connection issue with OBS, and then we do have a new system in place because we're doing a few updates in the system. But again, once again, just want to tell everybody thank you for watching. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. So today's live stream is called "The Problem Isn't Effort, It's Missing Structure," because a lot of people, when it comes to even this live stream, because it was literally last minute, same day, sent out the IG stories, the automation every hour, the posting, the DM, and things of that nature. That was all within today. And it was on the structure of the text message early this morning on Sunday that YL and I, we was texting back and forth, getting ready to do the annual registration of the LLC of Rebel Ears, talking about the finances, talking about the marketing, talking about the products and the content and everything in that nature. And YL hit me up saying, "Are you going live this weekend?" And literally made this live stream from the fact of a text message today. So shout out to YL on that. So this episode might be at least, let's say, 35, 40 minutes, because I do want to engage on a few things because I'm testing out the new structure of the room. I'm testing out the DJI right in front of me with the other setup, because I'm trying to figure out exactly how to work this, because I want to show y'all the way that I use OBS that got me just this year. I already got 400 minutes of credits. Now, for those who thinking like, how can I get those many credits? Because for those who don't know, Opus Clip is a website where you can turn your long form content. If you have your own YouTube channel and you're recording content for over 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 30 minutes to an hour, you could turn those long form content into short form clips. The link is in the description for anybody who's watching this video right now and want to turn their YouTube videos into reels or posts they can use on social media. Go ahead and click the link in the description and letting everybody know, because even with Opus Clip, because in this video I will show you a good example of how I use it when it comes to scheduling content in bulk. And then also, I think on our channel, shout out to Don of Don Talk Listen, we have up to 12 accounts on our Opus Clip. Now, a lot of people thinking, how can you have 12 social media platforms on one account, right? So for those who don't know, when it comes to Opus Clip, I have Twitter, well, X, I got Threads, LinkedIn page, not profile, Facebook page, Instagram, we got up to 3 Instagram accounts, Pinterest, And I think there's 2 other accounts, but also we're working with Don Talk Listen. But for the fact that a lot of people don't know when it comes to Opus Clip, it's structured in a way that remind me a lot of the old scheduling platforms that I used to use, like Buffer, Hootsuite, Later, and now one of my favorite is Hookle, because I'm actually a brand ambassador for anybody who needs to use Hookle. Even after this episode, it might take an hour or two, but we're going to put the link in the description for those who want to be a Hookle ambassador. Matter of fact, let me fix that up, because the one thing I love about going live, because it's natural. So for those who want to be Hookle brand ambassador to get social media scheduling for a whole year for free, go ahead. There should be a link in the description to join our Discord community, which is free. And all you got to do when you join the community, you should see my account. It should either be Ray Rebel or rebelears.ray. Message me Hookle, and I will send you all the information, the PDF, the checklist, and even the message to send to Hookle so you can get access for a whole year for free. I had 2 years for free, and now I pay for the fact that it opens so many doors. Because of Hookle, I won a $900 camera in 1 month from Structure. And that's basically what this episode is about, because when it comes to structure, we try to figure out exactly what works, what doesn't work, and even what works, we adapt to it and we advance from it. But even when it comes to what doesn't work, we need to figure out a system on, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it this way and see how we can implement it. All right. Bam. All right. Sorry for that little shake real quick. Just want to make sure the setup is adjusted real quick for the new setup in the room. Okay, so I'm going to read off the script a little, because every week, because we got a lot of stuff that's automated, and the things that I take over, I want to give y'all a natural feel. So the natural feel from me is to read off the script in a public speaking kind of way, because I'm going to keep reading from my laptop, but I'm going to look at y'all and engage, because really, we here to learn, we here to adapt, we here to build a community. Even with Rebel Ears, we got a lot of things we're working on, but let's go ahead and deal with, okay, I'm going to break it down with y'all. A lot of this stuff that I implement is not just with ChatGPT, but it's with Otter.ai, Opus Clip, Agent, Opus, and a lot of other website and apps that I use. But I do want to break it down to a structure that for anybody who's watching, they can do it themselves. So this should be 2 minutes long. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring out my gravity timer and put it for 5 minutes. But we only need 2 minutes. I'm probably going to do it in 1 minute to do the opening hook. Because as time goes by, you're going to know how to structure your own community, your own structure of your YouTube channel, your products. And even with this live stream, I want to provide value, right? So let me start with something that might sound uncomfortable. The reason most creators struggle with consistency isn't effort, it's talent. Well, no, it's not talent, it's not ideas, it's missing structure. Because even early on this live stream, I was talking about structure, because I base a lot of what I do when it comes to structure. And tonight we're going to break it down during the live stream. I have, like I said, I have a whole structure on how we're going to do it. But one thing I want y'all to think from the beginning of this live stream, if I remove your motivation tomorrow, let me start over. If I remove your motivation tomorrow, would your system still produce results? Because I'm not going to lie, a whole 2 months, I was in a way incognito. I was not on social media. I had a lot of stuff scheduled. I used multiple apps to schedule the Instagram stories, the reels, the posts, what else I have? Even the scheduling and consultation. And I had to take time to get away from social media just to figure out exactly what did I want to focus on? Because even for those who's watching, we all have ideas on what works, what doesn't work. And, that's the real question on what am I passionate about. So let's go ahead and think on why building a structure matter. All right. Because platforms are rewarding consistency and systems and not random bursts. Because it took me a while to learn when it deals with YouTube to have multiple scheduling apps. I use Hookle, I use Metrical, there's one, Meta Business Suite. And I learned how all these different platforms work and how they work cohesively, because one app I use for Instagram stories, one app I use to DM individuals, one app I use to schedule DMs, but there's a structure that YL and I are building for those who are creators, not just for artists or producers or engineers. It's for those who's trying to figure out a system that actually works, that actually have results. Because a lot of things that I produce were from the results of mistakes, or I've seen the success of other individuals. So we're going to get back into the reason why the topic matters when it comes to structure, because this deals with on the lines of YouTube. So just for everybody who knows, the YouTube channel will be in the link in the description. For everybody who's watching the live stream right now, make sure you tap into the YouTube. Let me see. Yo, what's up, Cruiser? Hey, shout out to Cruiser in the live stream right now. Now, I did some research, and of course, for those who watching a lot of my content in the past, I'm a big fan of ChatGPT on using it to automate my system, to do research, to help me to build on what I'm doing. And even with today's live stream, I did some research when it comes to platforms, social media, YouTube, things of that nature. And according to YouTube Creators Insight Updates, channels that update consistently see higher. Okay, sorry about that. My phone is still texting. You know what? Matter of fact, while we're going live, my business partner, YL, shout out to YL, the co-founder of Rebel Ear, just literally text me. So that was the little notification that y'all hear. The title of the live says Basics of EQ and Compression. I love that, because that just showed me that I did not do my part when it comes to the automation of, I don't know if I did it on YouTube Studios on my phone or on my laptop, but just, I wouldn't say a blooper, because the reason to go live is to understand the workflow and adapt to different changes or different situations. So literally right after the live stream, I know that's the second thing I'm going to do, because I know gravity timer for 5 minutes. I think that was for, I don't know if it was for the update of going live, but I will make sure in the description, I will put a affiliate link for the gravity timer. I got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and this is something that I use daily. All right. But let's get back to the subject, because I was talking about how uploading consistently see higher recommendation rates, because YouTube algorithm now favors watch time and repeat uploads over viral spikes. And shout out to Opus Clip and Agent Opus, because I had Opus Clip for over 2 years now. I think it's been at least 2-3 years, but Agent Opus, the end of the fourth quarter of 2025, I started using Agent Opus and starting to learn about creating your own videos, creating story mode, creating motion designs, and updating. If you have your own logo, if you need logo automations, I can show you how to create your logo automation in either an Instagram Reel or TikTok format or a YouTube format, or even depending on how you want to customize it, I can show you the steps, because even during this week, I have a system that shows you how to build an automation in your IG stories using either 4 to 5 apps. And even the structure of Agent Opus, Opus Clip, and YouTube, because I know so far it's been like close to 3.5 minutes talking about the system that I have in place, and even the delay of the live stream and then the updates on the text message and using the gravity timer. I'm not going to delay on the gems that we're going to provide, even with the little bumps on the road. So let's see, because I got a lot of information, even when it comes to LinkedIn and Threads engagement studies show creators posting consistently grow faster than those chasing virality. And I do believe in 2 words, discipline and consistency, because a lot of people want to go viral and they thinking that it does take one post, but even when it comes to one post, it's not just about, okay, how much can I post? How much can I do this and that? If you don't have a structure in place, if it's not a system, because, okay, good example. You want to go viral, but what's the goal? Do you have product that you want to sell? Do you have physical product? Do you have digital product? Do you have courses? Do you have a membership? Do you have a monthly or quarterly or annually fee for those who join in your subscription or your membership? Because even with my consultation, I talk to a lot of different clients outside of Rebel Ears, and I ask a lot of individuals, what's their goal? Because some people, they want to be famous. Some people want to have fames. Well, some people want to have financial stability. Some people just want to be a streamer. And there's a way to build a roadmap or a blueprint to align with where you're trying to get to. Even with Rebel Ears, because it took us over 5 years to build up a system, because now with YL and I, we have over 10,000. That's just the minimum. Over 10,000 hours of working with clients, working with artists, working with producers, working with live sessions, live performances, and it did help us to understand the structure. Let me see. That discipline is huge. It always said that if you're disciplined, you'll be good in the long term. That is true. I do believe in that. I do believe in discipline and consistency, because if you're disciplined, even when you don't want to do it, you're still going to do it because you know that you have a structure that builds up on what you need to do. And then the consistency is, okay, I just woke up. I know for the past 20 days I've been doing this. So let's go ahead and do day 21. And that's how a lot of people should see it, as to develop a system, a routine, a habit that builds them. So let's see where we at now. And a 2024 HubSpot creator study found creators with documented workflow produce 3 times more content per month than those relying on inspiration. So this conversation matters. So let me read that line again. Creators with documented workflows produce 3 times more content per month than those relying on inspiration. And I do believe that. Even, it's not just a live stream, because I got a lot of stuff automated, but just the conversation that I had with YL, we talked about going live, and it's needed for the fact that when you're not recording day to day and you're going live once a week, that going live once a week with our course, it should be out before next weekend. All right. And there'll be, I'll update the description. There'll be a link in the description to show people how to build a structure, a workflow on not just coming up with the script, not just recording the content, not just editing the content, but how to put it out. Because even with this live stream, literally after this live stream, I'm going to get an email from Opus Clip, shout out to Opus Clip, to ask me if I want to import this live stream into their website to turn this into short form short form content, because right after this live stream, it's probably going to be at least 40 minutes long. So me using Opus Clip for X amount of years, I'm probably going to get at least 25, 30 short clips. Okay, 20, lowball 20 clips I'm going to get from this live stream right here. All right. So let me read a little more information when it comes to some of the scripts that I did information on. And even when it comes to those who's trying to figure out their niche, what they need to do, how to monetize, we're going to have some links, not on this episode, but probably 3 or 4 episodes from now. We're building every single day, not just weekly, daily, on to build a platform. So watching this episode, give yourself 7 days. All right. Even before that, by now, it's going to be up there. But it's just the system that I have in place. I'm always working on at least 7 more. Okay, I'll break it down. I got 3 courses that I'm working on right now, 2 packs with YL, and then 1 workflow with all our platforms. We got up to 12 different social media accounts between YL and I and Rebel Ears. And then the last thing is to do a giveaway. Now the giveaway is for a book. So, okay, I'm sorry if I left this episode real quick, because I'm literally, y'all can count 10 seconds. I'm going to pick a book real quick that I'm going to do a giveaway for the next live stream. So count 10 seconds. All right, sorry about that. It took a little longer than I expected, but this is a book. Shout out, because even during the live stream, because we still got a lot of gems and a lot of workflow we're going to go through, but you're going to learn a lot of the gems and a lot of the resource that I get. Shout out to Lions Behavior, Nikki Saunders. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and get into a Lions Behavior field, because this is a live stream, man. You know, it's how you adapt with it. Now, this book, Contagious, Why Things Catch On by Jonah Berger. This is an amazing read. If you watch a lot of different podcasts and you're a fan of Nipsey Hussle, you know that the reason that he made the $100 mixtape, Crenshaw, was because of this book right here, Contagious. And because I want to read the back of it, because he did explain that Warren Professor Jonah Berger has spent the last decade answering this question. He studied how ideas spread, what drives word of mouth, why online content goes viral, and how social influence shapes everything from the cars we buy to the names we give our children. In this book, Berger reveals the secret science behind word of mouth and social transmission. Discover how 6 basic principles drives all sorts of things to become contagious, from products and services to policy initiatives and YouTube videos. Learn how luxury steakhouse found popularity through the lowly cheesesteak, while anti-drug commercial might have actually increased drug use, and why more than 200 million consumers shared a video about one of the seemingly most boring product there is, a blender. This book provides a set of specific, actionable techniques for getting things to catch on. Whether you're trying to spread an idea, get people to change their behavior, or make a product or service popular, Contagious will show you how. Now, Jonah Berger is a marketing professor at the Wharton School at University of Pennsylvania. This is amazing. I'm getting tongue twisted. This is an amazing read, which will be the giveaway of, let's see, today is, let me get my phone out real quick. Today is March 8th, and the next live stream will be, wait, it's not March. Is it March 8th? I'm sorry. Yep. The next live stream will be March 15th, and we're going to give away this book. All right. And shout out to Nikki Saunders because the way I got this book was the day I got my DJI camera, which I'm using for this live stream. So that should give you a reference on the skills that I do have. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this segment. Motivation is unreliable. Let's talk about motivation. All right. Motivation is emotional, and emotions fluctuate because a lot of stuff that when it comes to content, when it comes to posting, when it comes to recording, when it comes to even pushing that export, upload, post button, it used to be very emotional for me because I used to think, okay, there's so much I can fix. I need to do this. I need to edit that. I need to put the caption like this. I need to fix the lighting. How do I look? Is there something that's off? And a lot of times we do too much to improve what we see. And sometimes you just need to push the post button and see what happens. That's the reason that, ooh, you see? This is something because I was shouting out Lions behavior, but the mic was still pointing at me. So that was good. But it does show the fact that the consistency and not just stopping and building a repetition got me a lot of the benefits and a lot of the knowledge that I have today. Because when it comes to motivation, I used to be a big believer in motivation, but now I'm very disciplined for the fact that when it's not motivation that builds you up, that makes you want to get up, you got to discipline yourself. And I'm very big on that. Even the structure that I'm going to give you. Okay? So the system removes emotion from execution. When you know, this is my system. Well, okay, this is an example system because I know for a fact this is not mine, but good example. Monday, you record. Tuesday, you edit. Wednesday, you go live. Thursday, you repurpose content. Friday, you review analytics. And you stop negotiating with yourself. You simply execute. That's the difference. Because even with this system, the only difference is it's different days. But good example, Saturdays are normally my days to record. Sundays are my days that I normally edit. Right now, I'm live streaming on Sundays. Normally, it is Wednesday, but the system always changes to adapt to what works for you. All right, Thursday is repurpose. So normally, Sunday, the day that I'm doing edits is the day that I'm also scheduling. So when it comes to scheduling, I have a lot of content that I posted in the past that I repost. So that's a good example on what would work. And then Friday on here, review analytics. I am a big believer in looking at analytics, and I'm trying to find a way because I don't want to just give you false information without putting the intent behind it. So give me 1 second and let's see how this is going to work. Okay. All right. So I'm showing Opus Clip right now. Sorry about that because we're not going to get into the long form into short form. But if y'all probably saw a little of Don Talk Listen logo because he is one of our partners of Rebel Ears. Shout out to Don Talk Listen, a very dope platform. And, if you comment the word Don, if you comment the letters DON, I will send you a Google form to be a guest on his podcast. And it's simple as that because it's all about networking, taking advantage of what you see and what can work. Because even doing this live stream right now, I'm testing a lot of things out because if I'm thinking about it, I think the last live stream was probably, it's been over a month. I'm going to be honest with that. 2 months? I don't believe it's been 2 months, but even with that, we're going to stay on topic. All right. So this part is called emotional creators versus structures creators. Sorry about that. Emotional creators versus structured creators. I'm a structured creator because we're going to compare starting off. Okay. So emotional creators post when inspired, plan when stressed, disappear when overwhelmed. And the difference with structured creators will record on schedule, document their purpose, and repurpose automatically, review metrics weekly. And that's basically me, because when I'm thinking on a structure creator, because even when it comes to recording on schedule, today's live stream was random, it was sporadic. But normally when it comes to not the live stream but the recording, I have the short form clips scheduled 2 to 3 weeks in advance. And then when we come to document the process, because I learned this from Don of Don Talk Listen, he told me everything that you do is content. Even if you're a parent, you're taking your kids to the park, there's something out there that could be content. It might not be viral, but it is content that could either be a lesson, could be a structure, or something that could build up, or it could just be a moment of having time with your kids. But you want to document the process. And then two more things: repurpose automatically, which I use a couple of scheduling apps. Even the post that I made 2-3 months already, I might use 4 or 5 months from now just to repurpose the content that I already have. And then review metrics weekly. Just like, okay, this is something on my personal side. My wife and I, we go through the finances weekly. Every weekend we go through, okay, this is what we have together. This is what I have here. This is what I have here. This is what our kids have. This is what we do as a whole. Because when you build a structure of a metric consistently, you can see the workflow on, okay, this week is off, because I know for the past 6 months, every 2 weeks, this comes in. So we're down to X amount. So something needs to change. And it helps you, even the example of what I use in my household, an example for what to use with social media, YouTube, whatever platform you're using. Because when it comes to the metrics, I know for a fact, shout out to Opus Clip and Agent Opus. Even though they're the same company, the brand is amazing, okay? I know for a fact just this month from right now. Matter of fact, let me go to my phone, because I don't want y'all, I might show y'all a glimpse on where we at, because all this is just a natural feel to show you exactly what we're doing, what we're working on. And when it comes to YouTube metrics, right? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about reviewing metrics weekly, because we don't just want to put information out and we don't know. So I'm going to give y'all the insight. So if y'all can see, we got 441 subscribers on Rebel Ears, right? And we looking at the views and we're looking at the watch time. So I'm going to go into analytics, because when we set review metrics, which is basically the analytics, if we bring up the analytics, right? Right now, this is where we're sitting at. And I'm not embarrassed to show, because this is how we grow. All right, so views at 9.4 thousand views, 2.3 thousand more views than usual. All right, so now we're going to go to the watch times. So the watch time is 51.4, so 11.4 more than usual. You can see a spike. I don't know what that date is. And then the last one is subscribers. All right, so subscribers, 21 new subscribers. Shout out to the new subscribers. And we got 90% more than the previous 28 days. And I'm going to be honest, while we going live, I'm going to be honest, shout out to Agent Opus and Opus Clip. The reason that we got those many subscribers, because we tested out a system 2 months prior that's actually working. And it's about engaging and sending text message and seeing what actually works. All right. So shout out to those 2 platforms, but not to take away, because I know we got a live stream and we got a lot of gems and we got a lot of information for y'all. So let's see. All right. So this part is real simple, real quick. Audit before you add. This is where most people mess up. They add more platforms, more ideas, more tools without fixing their system. Before adding anything, audit how do you record content, edit content, follow up with your audience, repurpose long form into short form, write it down step by step. Write it down step by step. That's your first system, all right? So the reason why I bring that up, because the thing you need to think about is your system, because your system doesn't have to be so confusing. It's only a few things. So when it comes to your system, it's about recording content. What specific day during the week are you recording content? That's one. All right. What day do you have to edit? Because you have, let's say you have 20 gigabytes of content that you need to put out. What day you are dedicating to edit? Because even with me, it took me a minute because I could record. Even a client that I have recently told me, man, I can record content for days, but when it comes to the editing and posting, that's my weakness. And that's something when it comes to a system that you need to develop. And I understand that when it comes to recording, then editing, then posting, it might be a structure that's simple when it comes to recording or editing or posting. And I'm not blaming those who see me as, because there's still things I'm learning, but I have a system. And that's what we're talking about. So let's say follow up with your audience, engage, comment, like, post on Instagram stories on questions, post, something they can engage in. And then repurpose long form into short form. Opus Clip link is in the description. Just click the link, try it out. If you don't like it, send me a very dark email. Let me know how it sucks. I doubt it because I've been a fan for over 2 years. All right, so just let me know. If you're not a fan, I'll be surprised. All right, so this part is about Opus Clip, the repurposing of content. And I'm going to show you an example on how I use Opus Clip, because a common leak in creator workflow. People record long form content but never repurpose it. So your system loses leverage. And I am a big believer in that. This is where tools like Opus Clip comes in. Opus helps by automatically finding highlights, converting to vertical videos, adding caption, creating multiple short clips. One recording becomes multiple assets. All right. Even after this live stream, like I told you early on, I'm going to get a text message letting me know, like, okay, it's time for you to, post this in Opus Clip and get like 20, 30, 40 short clips. So with this segment, we're going to bring up, because I'm going to show you all a snippet. This right here is Opus Clip. All right. And this is my account. Do not look at don't mind the credits, because these are the credits from, you know what? Y'all fans are Rebel Ear, so we're going to give y'all the gems. So if I click on 1,000 credits, there's multiple credits, and I can be detailed on every other ones, because some of the credits I won from a giveaway. Some of the credits are with my plan that I play, the plan that I pay. And then some of the credits is also emailing the company. And a lot of people thinking like, what? A lot of my system is easy for the fact that it works. All right. So when it comes to, let's see, credits expires in 20 days. I got 307. And then I got more credit that expires in 26 days. That's 100. More credit that expires in 26 days. That's 300 credits. And then last credit expire in 56 days. That's 300. Now, when you add all those credits, that's 107 credits. And with Opus Clip, 1 credit equals 1 minute. So I have 1,007 minutes of credits when it comes to posting short form clips. And I want to give an example. Let me see. LOL, the man got them credits. I do. And I want to show y'all exactly how I use it, because we partnered with Dog Talk Listen to use some of our credit, because we got a lot from the giveaways and engaging. And even want to show people the ways to use it, because a lot of people, when I first got Opus Clip, they did not have half of what they have right now. Okay, so this first one, it's engaging because it starts off shot at 16, found faith, now sells hat for hope. I think the hat is upstairs, but basically, I was at the park with my boys and I wanted to record content with my son, James, and I brought my DJI. I brought my mount to one of the to the playground. It clamps onto the rails, and then I had my DJI mics with my son. And while we was out there, a guy walked up to us, and he had at least 6 hats with him, and he was walking door to door while I was at the park with my son, and he basically sold me a hat for, I think, $15. It was either 15 or 20, but this is an example of Opus Clip, because right now, if you see where it says original clips, I got 23 clips of just Mike and myself and Mike and my son for an hour and 10 minutes at the park, I believe. But this is the first one because I want y'all to watch it, but I also want y'all to learn the way that I use it, all right? This was just random.
The message behind it is an A16 I had got shot at, and I gave my life to God. So now I'm outside basically selling hats, trying to fund my real estate. So that's basically an A16 I had got shot at. So basically, when I had got shot at, I had faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when I had got shot at, all I could was have faith. 2 gunshots hit the side of the car, and I was on the side of the car that the gunshots hit. So I was like, man, like, and I grew up in a Christian family, but when I got like older and stuff, like I just, you know, I kind of like went my own route. My mom was telling me, don't be in the streets. She was telling me like, whatever done in the dark won't come to light.
Yeah.
And it did come to light, because when I got shot at, I had to tell her. So the message behind it is an A16.
Okay, I just wanted to show y'all an example when it comes to using Opus Clip, because that's how I got a lot of content when it comes to. Okay, so like I said, I got original clips. I got 23 clips, and so far, this is the viral score. Now, I want to break down Opus Clip because I am such a big fan. As y'all can see, I got a lot of credits. So I'm going to break down everything when it comes to the hook, right? So let's start with the 99 out of 100, right? So the viral score, the likelihood of this video will go viral on Shorts, TikToks, and Reels. So the Shorts and Reels, Instagram, TikTok. Shorts can be YouTube also, so don't just throw YouTube to the side. When it comes to hook, the hook immediately introduces a personal, impactful story. Consider adding a brief preview of the resolution of to further piss curiosity. Yeah. Wait. Pick. Mess that word up. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the flow. The narrative flows well, connecting the past trauma to present action, ensuring clear transition between spoken thoughts would enhance it. All right. Value offers a powerful testament to faith and resilience, providing a significant inspiration, sharing more about the practical application of faith in daily life would add depth. And then the last one, this clip touches okay, so I'm reading the in-depth of the hook, flow, value, and trend. So I know Opus Clip, so the hook is something, because now Hookle has Opus Clip, sorry about that. Opus Clip has a structure where if you put a video on there, a long form video, when it creates your short clip, it'll create the hook and it'll actually rate it. So if I go down here, the hook is A minus. Okay. So when it comes to the hook, it's like the first 3 seconds that engage the people who are watching the video. The flow, is it a natural flow? Is there a lot of pauses? Is it something that's going to engage people? The value is what's being discussed. Is it like one person having a discussion with the people who's watching? Is it between 2 people having engaged in a conflict? Well, not a conflict, but having a conversation. And even when it comes to the trend, is this something that's trending at the moment? This is what I love about Hookah, because it breaks down, okay, man, I got 30 minutes of content that I just recorded, and I need at least 5 short clips from this. You upload it, and there's a link in the description, and you'll get free clips to try it. I had to think for a second because I don't just want to say something that doesn't hold value. But if you click the link in the description for Opus Clip, you will get a free example. Not just free example, free downloads to try it out. So go ahead and try it out. So let's see. I'm just randomly going through some of the videos on here because, let me see. Let's see. We're going to go down to 16. Let's see what 16 is. It's just a random number, but let's see. Dad, son, park fun. Almost a face kick. Okay. So if you want to edit a video, because I didn't even watch it, I would go to edit clips, right? So as soon as I click edit clip, all right. So this video it's 18 seconds, but one thing I like about Opus Clip, you test it out, you see what you like, you can extend it, you can lower it. Okay, so it is fetching API, loading video and edit resources. Now, it might be going slow because I am on this live stream. So we're going to go back real quick, and we're going to just play it from the screen. So we're going to go down to 16 just to see how it looks. Let me see, 17. Here we go. Let's see what this is. Get the ball, Luke. So what else you like to do with Dad? Oh, you almost kicked him in the face. Get the ball, Luke. Even though that was this upload is a lot of the engagement with my the boys and I. We went to the park just to test out different scenarios, different scenes, because I am purchasing more equipment for the studio. But I wanted to test out what would work. But even with Opus Clip, with the boys and I, you heard my son clearly, you heard myself clearly, because we have the DJI mic, the mini. I should put a link in the description. So I'll put a link in the description for those who want to get the DJI camera and the DJI mic that connects amazingly, that I would recommend for anybody who needs to use Opus Clip or YouTube or things of that nature. All right. So let's see what we got. Okay, it's 9:50. We've been doing good in the live stream. So I do want to appreciate everybody who's watching. I do want to go ahead and do some CTAs. For those who don't know what CTA means, because if you're in the Rebel Ears community, you know it's a call to action. If you are an artist, creative, someone who has their own brand, you want to make money from your brand. You want to make money from the brand itself, just from the colors, the logo, the images, things of that nature. All right, we discuss it in the Rebel Ears Discord. So when it comes to structuring your brand, what I would recommend, either watch our videos on our YouTube channel, join the Rebel Ears newsletter that's in the description, or join the Rebel Ears Discord. There's a link in the description. I'm sorry. I think, yeah, as soon as I get off this live stream, I'm having a 20-minute call with my business partner. But let's see what else we got. Okay, now this, shout out for everybody who stick out long enough to watch the Opus Clip video. This part right here is the execution play for this week. Okay, we got 7 minutes. We're going to see if we can do this real quick in 7 minutes. All right, here's the challenge this week. I want everybody who's watching this live stream or listening to the podcast to build one system, not 10. I need you to choose just one. All right. Choose one, either recording a workflow, an email workflow, content repurposing workflow, or calendar workflow. All right. You want to focus on one of those four. All right. And then you would write it step by step, because you want to have the blueprint on how it worked for you. and then you turn it into a checklist. Because if you know me, I am big on checklists. Shout out to Gwande of the Checklist Manifesto, top 5 books I ever read in my life. And then save it in one place. That's why even when I work with Don or Don Talk Listen, we structure his folders of all the episodes that he already had recorded, the ones that he edited, and then the one that was released. So that was a good example. And then follow it for 30 days. You want to have a consistent, disciplined system that, I wouldn't say works because you're testing it out, but if it works, hey, the system works. All right? But the truth is simple. Don't scale chaos, build structure. If this helps you to clear your system out anyway, comment the word system on the YouTube or any of the platforms you've seen this on. But I do want to thank everybody who watched this live stream. You know, we got a lot of gems in. And don't forget, next week on the live stream, on Sunday night at 9 p.m., we giving away this book, all right? Contagious by Jonah Berger. This is an amazing read. They even got, give me 5 seconds, because I know if I look at the table of content, they're probably talking about the $100 cheesecake. I'm trying to remember if it was the $100 cheesecake. 100 number. But either way, you got to get this book. But from everybody who's listening and watching, I want to tell everybody thank you for listening and watching the live stream or the podcast.